Hi there, it's Pete. Everybody knows me as Pete, but my channel name is Peter Muller Tunes. It would be great if everybody on YouTube could say their name and their sort of channel name, and then everybody could pronounce their names right, and there'd be lots more shout outs. I'm terrible on saying people's surnames, because obviously in their country it would be pronounced differently, really. But yeah, that's just my little thought. It'd be great if everybody on YouTube could say their name and their handle or their channel name, and then I reckon there'd be lots more shout outs, because I do hold back quite a bit on shout outs because I just don't know how to pronounce people's names. But hopefully I got this name right. D. Greeley, hope I got that right, Dave, suggested if I would do a little video of all my stringed instruments, because he was watching one of my videos the other day, and he said, "How many stringed instruments have you got, Pete?" Well, it's quite a few really, Dave, but I'll show you in a minute. So thanks for that little suggestion of doing a little video. That's great. So that's Dave Greeley. He does he's got a great channel. He does lots of his original music as well. He plays a great 12-string guitar, and he does a lot of electric guitar work as well. So he does a lot of originals and other people's songs as well. He's got some great sounds there coming out of his electric guitar. So that's D. Greeley, if you want to have a little look at his channel. Hope I got that right, Dave. I'm sorry if I haven't. I'm awful with surnames. So, right, I'm going to just show you all my ukuleles, one by one. So here we go. If I can get up, because I'm an old geezer now, so I don't know if I can get up. Yeah, I can. I might crack a bit. Right, here we go. So, the first one is a mandolin. It's a vintage, it's called. So that's my first one I'm going to show you. The sun is shining, so I'll come a bit closer. So that's a beautiful in blue. It's electric model. Like I said, it's you plug in there. Absolutely sounds beautiful when it's being played. I don't play it much on YouTube, but really, really lovely mandolin. Right, we got the tone volume and the tone on here. Obviously, it's got 8 strings. Right, so that's my mandolin by Vintage. That's the actual name of it. Right, one of my favourite ukuleles. It's a baritone ukulele. It's a Mahalo. Hope I've said that right. I've had this one for must be a couple of years now, I should think. But yeah, it's real lovely. Got a nice tone to it. But I have also, so that's my Mahalo baritone. Right, so I have got my new baritone. It's a Mikala. Hope I said that right as well. It's beautiful. But actually, I was going to do a little video on this one. This one, they call it a B stock, where it might have got a few little sort of little marks, little imperfections. But really, there's not much. There's like a little tiny bit there. I mean, you can't hardly see it, but they call that a B stock, which is sort of not quite to the high standards, you know, that you can sell. So I think this one was £70, half price. So it's about £140, this one, if you bought it without any little blemishes in it. There's a little one there, but I mean, you can't even see it. So I think I was quite lucky. I mean, obviously, if you're not happy with it, you can send it back. I had one string break on it. I don't know why it broke, but as I was tuning it the first time, it sort of broke. So yeah, So absolutely. So I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to buy a B stock instrument. Obviously, you get it in guitars as well. You can sort of like buy one that's not quite finished off as good as it should be, and you get it half price. So I took a risk, and I think it paid off. Yeah, this is the one I do all my finger picking on, all my little videos. So put that one back a minute. So that's the Mikala. So that is my third little instrument. Now here's my soprano, which I've been playing all my little tutorials on. I can't pronounce it. I'm calling it an Irvin, but it's really finished off well. This is the one that I paid about £17 for. So quite lucky to get that one, I think. A really nice sound. It might be laminate wood and stuff like that, but I mean, it does really sound great actually. So that's my soprano, which everybody's seen in my little videos I do. There you are. That's the soprano. Right. This one here is a soprano as well. It's by Stag. So Stag do nice instruments. I mean, they got some nice cheaper instruments as well. So they cover sort of all the range of instruments, from the soprano right up to the baritone. So don't look too close. There's a little bit of dust on this one, but yeah, I don't play it on very much actually. That was my first little purchase, a Stag soprano. If you put it up to the other soprano, look, it looks a little bit bigger to me, but that's just me. Right, so next is my Washburn. My Washburn concert. Beautiful, absolutely. It's really quite heavy actually. It's well made, this one. Yeah, Washburn. I mean, Washburn do some great. I mean, back in the 60s, late 50s, I think they'd done some really great guitars and basses. I think I had a bass once, like an old Washburn bass, and it was really heavy, but it sounded great. As you know, I was a bit of a bass player in the bands I was with. Right, so that's my Washburn concert, which I've just finished off my series 5 for the ukulele, and I think I've done about 5 lessons with the soprano, or 4 lessons, and I've done the last lesson or 2 with this one. So right, so here we go. Got one more left, I think. Oh, I've got 2 left actually. I want to show you my other little one. Right, so here's my tenor. So I've got all 4 sizes of the ukuleles. So this is the tenor, which is the next one down from the baritone. So as you can see, the baritone there, so it's quite a bit smaller actually than the baritone, but yeah. So that's my Mahalo. I think I've said that right. It needs a tune-up. I haven't played this one for a day or 2. Right, so I'll just go through them a minute. Up there. So that's my mandolin and my ukuleles. Yes, we got the mandolin, which is the vintage. We got the Mahalo baritone, which I love the baritones, really fantastic. Then we got the Mikala baritone. We got the Irvin soprano. We got the Stag soprano. We got the Washburn concert and the Mahalo tenor. So that's all my ukuleles and mandolins. Right, so I'll start on my guitars now. So as you know, I think it was late last year actually, I bought my Epiphone EJ200S CE stroke VS. Absolutely beautiful guitar. It sounds really brilliant. It's got all the onboard tuners, all the electronic stuff, and it's got some really great pickups on it and things. Absolutely great. So that was really a really good purchase. I think it was about £300. Was it 350? 350, I think it was. Yeah, so beautiful guitar. It's one of my favourites. Right, so that's the first one I'm going to show you. That's my Hepperphone. Right, try not to let it fall over. I haven't got a case for it yet, or a place to put it, so it stays in its box still. So I must get a nice case for it. I mean, I think the case is nearly so much as the guitar. I mean, some of the cases are really expensive. But yeah, right, so here we go. Let's let the dust fly. Right, this is another fantastic purchase. There again, it's a vintage. You can see that. I won't get too close. And it's a 6-string banjo, really. Really sounds great. It's not really an electric instrument because really it's quite loud. So it doesn't need to be. I mean, you've got all your mics here, so you don't really need to plug in with this one. It's really loud. But yeah, as you can hear, Houston calling. Yeah, absolutely fantastic instrument. 6-string bass. Sorry, 6-string bass. 6-string banjo. I used to have a 5-string banjo, but I just could not get on with it with that octave G. I could not. But saying that, I think I might be able to now. Being a bit older and wiser, hopefully. But yeah, so this is a 6-string version by Vintage. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, my the 5-string one I had, it had like inlay sort of beautiful wood on the back, sort of light and dark. Absolutely beautiful. And that was an Eco. So I think that was Italian, I think. That was, oh, really great. I sold it on eBay and I had about £100 more than I wanted for it, really. I didn't realise it was vintage. So there you are. I did see one or two on there saying a vintage. I think it was 5 or 6 on at the time, and I think I had about £100 more than I wanted. So that was good going, really. Right, here we go. So that's the 6-string banjo. Now, a lot of people have commented on this one, how nice it looks and everything, and it does play nice as well. It's an electric model. It's got all the gubbins here. It's a Resonator guitar. Beautiful. But it wasn't really expensive. I think it was about £150. But it sounds great for blues and that sort of thing. Really beautiful. I think it's called a classic. So it's not really a well-known make, really, I don't think. But I just had a bit of money, birthday money or Christmas money, and I thought, why not get one of these? I haven't got one of these, so I'll get one. Right, so it's really beautiful. I mean, every guitar I got really is different. You know, I've got like a 12-string or Resonator guitar. I do a lot of open tunings and things like folk music sort of. And well, that's my justification for it anyway. I know I've got a lot of guitars, and perhaps you don't need quite so many, but you sort of collect them over the years, and you get attached to them, and you don't want to get rid of them. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, so that was a great purchase. It's electric. So get some great sounds out of that one. But what I'm going to do, I've got a guitar over there which I shan't bother to show you today. It's sort of like a cheap electric guitar. I'm going to convert it into a lap guitar. Because you can get like a plate that goes over your nut and one that goes on your bridge to bring out the strings about 1/2 inch. and then you get a nice slide. I mean, you can buy a proper slide to go with it as well. It's quite expensive, the slide. And I'll turn it into a lap guitar. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So yeah, so I'll show you that when I've done it. I'm going to get all the bits for it. I think the slide is about £27, so it's quite a lot of money. But the actual bridge plate, the one goes here to bring out the strings, about half an inch, I think. It's about £4, and the bridge piece that goes in is about £8, I think. So I have to have a look at that. But the actual slide is quite a chunky slide. I think it's about £28, so it's quite a lot of money really. So I've got to justify it somehow. Right, so here we go. So that is that. I might clash them a bit here. Right. So that's that. Whoa. Right, an Ashton 12 string. So my mate Dave, he plays a fantastic 12 string. I can't get the nice sounds that he can get out of his, but it's a beautiful guitar though. It's an Ashton 12 string. It's really, really nice. There's a few reviews on the net saying that they weren't finished off very well, but this one here, all the fret ends are lovely. There's no sharp bits or anything. So there again, I think I was lucky with this one. I'm not quite sure what to pay for it now, but I have got another little video which I've done of showing all my guitars, and it might say on there how much I paid for it. Yeah, so that's an Ashton. Hope I'm saying that right again. 12 string. So it is a really, really beautiful made guitar. Really, really lovely. Just show you the headstock a minute. So there it is. So beautiful. Right. So that's my 12 string. So I can justify that one because it's different. So now you might think I'm mad, but I've even got a guitar for taking away on holiday. When we go camping, we load up the trailer in the car with all the crap you take with, all the stuff you take for camping, the tent and everything. And of course the poor old guitar goes on the top of the trailer in a plastic bag, really, in a black bin liner, hoping it's not going to rain too much. And this is the one I take on holiday. It's a beautiful guitar of mine. It's by Stag. It's not the dearest of guitars. Not the cheapest, I suppose. I think you could buy this one, I think, brand new for about £100, I think. I think I paid, not quite sure really, 50 second hand. It was just really to go camping with, really. To do some of my little tunes when I'm out camping. But yeah, so this was travelled quite far really, up country. So hopefully we're going to go again soon. I think we're going to go up Hampshire, I think, in the New Forest. It's beautiful up that way. Really, really lovely. Taking the 2 dogs. And yeah, so that is my camping guitar. I know people's going to laugh at me saying that, but I didn't really want to take a really expensive guitar if it could get a little bit damp. So if it's raining. So I don't think this has actually got damp yet. So I'm quite lucky. Right, so that's my camping guitar. That's Stag. That's just there's no electronics on that one at all. Right, I've had this guitar for ages and ages. It's a jumbo size guitar. As you can see, it's quite jumbo. It's vintage again. I quite like the vintage. Well, my local music shop used to do a lot of vintage instruments, so I used to get good deals with him. But yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful guitar, nice sounding guitar. It's got all the electronics there. It's got the preamp with the battery and everything. So yeah, it's really, really made nice actually. And it's quite a heavy guitar, but there it is. So that's my vintage 6 string. electric acoustic. Right, we're getting there now. I just wanted to show you. It's my mate Dave. Good old Dave there. He said, why don't you do a video showing all your... So really, I suppose I should have laid them all out nice, but I'm giving you a little insight of what they are. So I think, hopefully. Right, so this is my Crafter bass guitar, 4-string bass. Absolutely beautiful. Obviously it's electric, but saying that, one of my little I used to play with a mate, and we were called the foot tappers, and I can actually, when we're practicing, I can actually play this one without plugging it in, because my mate Dave, he had Roger, I should say, my mate Roger, he had tinnitus, and used to have it with his hearing, but obviously when we were playing out live, I used to have it down low, because it's quite loud really. But yeah, that's my bass guitar. So I've actually sold about 4 or 5 guitars. When I was gigging, I had a PV bass, a nice blue PV bass, a PV amp, one of the big cab amps, you know, with the cabinet and the head on the top. Really beautiful amp that was. And so I had a PV bass when I was gigging, and a Fender Precision bass, which is I mean, they said at the time that the PV was a lot better, but there's just something about Fender. I just love Fender. Yeah, so I had a Fender Precision bass. It was a sunburst sort of colour. Beautiful. And also, yeah, I had the blue, like I said, the blue PV and the Fender Precision. And for my electric guitar, I had a Fender Mexican Strat, which I loved. It was a really fantastic, because I used to play sort of like, I mean, we used to play a lot of rock and a lot of blues and that sort of thing. And this Fender Mexican Strat, I mean, everybody says it's not so good as the actual Fender Strat, but I mean, I found it fantastic for a rhythm sort of instrument. Absolutely lovely. So I sold that one. So that's 3 I've sold. And can't think what else I sold really, but that was my main sort of gigging instruments. So right, so that's my Crafter. It's beautiful. I can see that really, this little story, I think I told it in the other video, that my music shop, I ordered this one from a music shop, and it came and it was just a normal wood colour. And I said, oh no, I want the one I ordered. So I had to wait about 3 weeks, I think. But when it came back, beautiful. So I'm glad I done that now, really. Right, so that's my bass, my acoustic bass, I should say. Right. So, oh no, I'm playing them too much together. Now this one here, this is a Fender CB60E or 60CE. Yeah, absolutely lovely guitar. It's just like I don't think it was that expensive really. £250, 200. I'm not quite sure now. But absolutely beautiful. I've got this on second hand actually. I think I might have even paid something like 130 for it, because nobody bid it against me. So I was quite lucky there. But yeah, beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a sunburst sort of colour. It's got all the built-in tuner as well on it. I don't know if you can see that. Excuse me. Yeah, so yeah, beautiful sounding one that. I think I've done 1 or 2 of my videos with this one. yeah, so that would be a really great instrument to actually learn on, really. So right, and I got my old faithful Yamaha. Yeah, I've had this one for, I keep saying 20 years, but it must be longer than that even. I know I used to gig with this one with my last band. The last band sort of split up in 2007, so I must have played this one at least 12 years gigging it. So as you can see, it's not too bad of condition. There's a few little knots on it, but not too bad. Yeah, it's got all the electronic. It's got a preamp with the battery. Yeah, a really good. I mean, Yamaha is good anyway. I mean, if you even get the cheaper versions of the Yamaha, really great instrument to learn on, and yeah, absolutely brilliant. So this is a Yamaha FGX 412. Yeah, I was trying to find a guitar to match my mate's sort of sound. I'm not quite sure what guitar he had now, but it wasn't a really expensive one, but he had a really great sound. So I thought, I've got to try and get the sound like his, really, so we can both play together, and it really sounds great. And it took me all day. I was going around Plymouth all day. There was about 3 music shops in Plymouth, and I kept on going around all the shops until I found the one I liked. It took me all day. I nearly missed the last train, really. So I took a train up because I thought it'd be easy just to carry it on the train. I mean, normally I would drive up, but yeah, so I had a great day playing all the what I used to do. I used to say, I want a guitar, say £500 or £600, and then bring out 3 or 4, and then you try them. But if like, it wouldn't be any good if they brought out a £1,000 one, because I couldn't afford it anyway. So but in the end, I thought, I found a great guitar, and it sounds nearly so good as my mates, but I won't say better, but I mean, it was close. Yeah, really great sounding Yamaha. So Yamaha, I reckon, are absolutely brilliant. I mean, like I said, I've had this one for over 20 years. I've gigged it, I've played it. Obviously, you've got to change the strings every month or 2 if you're gigging, or every couple of weeks, really, if you're gigging. But yeah, so that is a great buy, Yamaha, even if it's the cheaper ones, really, because they all sound brilliant, and they're all made to a high standard. Right, so that is my Yamaha. Right, so we're getting there now. Hope you're looking, Dave, because this is just for you, mate. Right, so let's just go through that a minute. I got it quite well. Right, so we got the 6-string vintage bass. We got the classic, I love this one, absolutely love it, Resoneur sort of guitar. What I would like is one of these in a ukulele. I'm looking out for one of those. But right, so we've got the 12-string Aston. We've got my camping guitar. Everybody laughing at me. Which I take camping, which is a Stag, which is about £100 if you bought one brand new. I think I paid about 50-60 for that one. We've got the vintage jumbo. It's quite a jumbo. It's nearly, so I would say it's as big as my new one, isn't it? If you have a look, if not bigger, actually. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, isn't it? So yeah, so that's my. Don't you fall down. Right, that's my 6-string jumbo style. Then we got my Crafter bass and my Fender semi-acoustic, and my Yamaha, my faithful Yamaha, which I've had for over 20 years now. So right, so that's about it, really. I just thought I'd do a little show you all my sort of stringed instruments. As you know, I quite like my instruments, really, and so So everyone does something a little bit different, really. If it's not a different tuning, sort of be like a 12-string guitar. But yeah, but I've got to try and justify all my instruments, really. But yeah, this is the I won't say it's a cheap little version, but I think my son actually bought this for me, so I can't really say too much about it. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to change these tuning pegs or tuners for some better ones, and I'm sure then with a decent set of strings that will sound really great as a soprano sort of instrument. But as you can see, it is really like a toy, really. But I quite like it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the actual tuners, and put some sort of cog tuners there, and hopefully they will stay in tune more. Right, so that's all my stringed instruments. I haven't got anything new at the moment, but yeah, I keep thinking to myself, I must get rid of some, but I just can't do it. Not yet, anyway. But yeah, so thanks, Dave, for that. I hope I've pronounced your name right. And thanks for the suggestion of doing like a little video of all my stringed instruments. And I hope it's come out okay. So yeah. So my little suggestion is, if everybody on YouTube could say out their name and their channel name, because obviously some are in like foreign languages, and then people could say your name and your channel name correctly. So I doubt that'll ever happen, but just my little suggestion, really. So yeah, thanks for taking a look, and I'll catch you again. Cheers now, bye.